et bienvenue à Mastering the Art of French Cooking. Je m'appelle Julia Child et aujourd'hui I have a special guest. S'il vous plaît, welcome my guest, une chef très magnifique, Madame Voelger. Bonjour et merci beaucoup. Je suis très excitée de cook avec moi aujourd'hui.
Bonjour, je suis aussi. I'm also. Today, I thought we would make one of your famous dishes, Julia, which is French onion soup. In French, I believe you call it soupe les oignons. And so we are going to make it today together with you. So thank you for cooking with us, Julia.
Bon et merci. Here's a list of ingredients pour vous. Soupe à l'oignon, or French onion soup. 5 to 6, or 5 à 6. Yellow onions, oignons jaunes. Sliced. Using a sharp serrated knife will help you avoid crying. And a piece of gum. French bread, or une baguette, about 8 to 10 or 8 à 10 slices. A serrated knife will help make your slices even more even. Parmesan cheese, or fromage parmesan, grated about a half a cup. Salt and pepper. A bay leaf. Half a teaspoon of dry sage, a cup of white wine, or you can use another cup of beef stock if you prefer, 6 cups of beef stock, 3 tablespoons of flour, half a teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
Merci, Julia. Okay, so we're gonna make sure we have our mise en place. We have everything together, our hands are washed, hair tied back, and we're ready to go. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our onions. Okay, sharp knife, remember we're making a tunnel through our onions. Chop them in half first. You can take the edge off. Take this one off too if you want. And then pull the peel back. And you can put all of this into your garbage bowl. Make sure you get that membrane, it's a little tough. Okay, we're gonna do nice, even slices. The sharper the knife, the less that you will cry. Watch your fingers, and then we're gonna transfer those into our bowl. So we're gonna cut up 6 onions, medium-sized onions, and then when we're finished, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now we have our Gruyere cheese grated. I did that with a cheese grater. I did my Parmesan with a peeler because I like the way it comes out, and you can actually just fry these up and then turn into chips, super delicious. Chopped my sage, and now back to you, Julia.
Merci beaucoup. Heat a heavy oven-safe stock pot over medium-low heat and add the cooking oil once the pot is hot. I've done that. Melt the butter into the hot oil. We're gonna take our butter, add it into the hot oil. There we go. And stir the sliced onions into the hot oil butter mix, ensuring they are evenly coated. Onions should be clear and very tender once they are finished. You're going to cover this pot for about 20 to 30 minutes, checking to make sure they aren't burning. Turn up the heat to medium-high and add the sugar and 1 tablespoon of salt. Continue cooking while stirring until the onions are thoroughly browned and caramelized.
Thanks, Julia. Okay, so here we have our nice caramelized onions. We're going to go ahead and add our butter and flour. Now we're cooking the flour so that we can cook the flour taste out a little bit. You don't want it to taste like raw flour. But you see how my onions are now clumping together in this thick paste? Okay, and to do this, I'm going to start to build my soup and deglaze my pan with all these delicious bits down here. So I'm going to start by putting in 1 cup of beef stock. Now because it's quarantine, I couldn't find beef stock, it was sold out. So I am using beef broth, but that's okay. It's not as rich in flavor, but it'll work for this purposes. My apologies, Julia. So we're going to slowly put that in to deglaze the pan. We're going to try to scrape all those bits off the bottom and turn this roux into a nice thick soupy thinner paste. And then we're going to continue to add our stock to this. So we're going to add 6 more cups. Julia's recipe calls for white wine, but I'm not going to use white wine. I'm just going to use additional stock. You always want to keep your measuring cup on the counter so that you can get a good read on that line, where your measurement line is. If I were to hold my cup like this, then I wouldn't be able to tell, so the counter is nice and flat. Okay, so we're going to turn the heat up on this. We're going to bring it to a boil, and we are going to come back to it when it has simmered at a boil for 30 minutes. Okay, so we're going to bring that up to a boil. While we're waiting, we're going to go ahead and start getting our croutons ready. So Julia, I'm going to toss this to you.
Merci! I've preheated the oven to 325 degrees. First we're going to drizzle both sides of our bread, which is buttered, with the little extra olive oil in the directions. I'm going to do that with a little spatula. Then we're going to put these in the oven.
A few moments later.
Now that 15 minutes has passed, we're going to take them out of the oven. Nice and toasted on each side. So I'm going to switch my oven to broil on low. Top the toasted bread with cheese or fromage, and then broil until melted and golden. I have my beautiful Swiss Gruyere fromage Gruyere. Et fromage parmesan. I'm going to put this in for a few minutes only, watching it carefully until it's nice and melted on top under the broiler. Okay, it's time to take our bread out of the oven. As you can see, it's nicely melted on top. So now it's time to put everything together and we'll come back with the final product. Okay, here we are. Soupe Lion. Make sure you taste it before serving and add salt and pepper as needed. Then remove the bay leaf once you're finished. Portion out the soup into a bowl, add the floaty cheese crouton on top, and enjoy. Très magnifique. Bon appétit!
Merci, Julia. Thank you so much for cooking with me. See you soon.